introduce myself. I'm Michelle Wong. I'm from the Netherlands, and I am a Microsoft 365 consultant, and also an MVP of business applications. And the main focus, I'm focused on Power Automations and Power Apps. And also I'm owner of 365 Power Consulting Services. And over here, you can see my QR code to my LinkedIn page and a Twitter handle. So feel free to get connected, and we can can connect it with each other. With today's sessions, I think about an scenario that we can that I want to show you, and that's a built-in and check-in Power App, which is integrated with Power Automate flows and also with Power BI integrations, and that will match with each other. And also at the end, we put it into a team, so you can see the integrations within teams, within Power BI, within Power Apps, and also with Power Automations flows to keep the data refreshes, etc. So I think about a scenario which a company want to keep track of their users and where they are going to a customer's appointment, and you want to be noticed what kind of services you are doing, at which locations, and also on status reports. And maybe some of their appointments will lead to a sales opportunity. So a nice to have thing is also to get a report of the total overview of what are the check-in points and what are the appointments that are made. So to make this business case scenario possible, we just use Office 365 environment. So you have a basic Office 365 license, and we also make use of Power Platform. In this case, we create a Power App Canvas app. We use Power Automate to do a check-in and also refresh our data. And also we use a Sharepoint list as source. And we use a Power BI integration to generate the report that we created in our Power BI desktop. We place this into a workspace, and also we put this dashboard into Teams and also in our Power App Canvas app. So how to achieve this, I just show you the step-by-step. And at the end, I show you the demo, overall demo, how it looks like. And you can see how well everything is integrated with each other. So here's the flow. It's a business flow. We use the SharePoint list as a source. And then we use Power BI to connect this data source. And we also create, in Power BI, we create a dashboard and we publish it into a workspace. In Power BI, in Power BI, there is also integration with Power Apps, so we use that to integrate that within our Power App Canvas app. And in Power App, I already pre-built a basic Power App Canvas app with a sort of list, and within the list I have some filters, and also you can see in Power App the dashboards of Power BI. Beside that, we also use two different Power Automation flows. One is an check-in with use of our Power Automation app, and that's just a button. When I click on that, I can check in my location, fill in the sources, and then it will update my SharePoint list. And another one is just a refresh on my Power BI data source. So you see everything will connected with our source list, in this case the SharePoint list, and at the end we put all into the teams, into a teams with an app or as a tab and as an special button. So this is the overall view of the structure. And in SharePoint Lists, we just used some SharePoint list with different columns, and title, person column, and some choice fields. And so this is how it looks like. Just save all the items, all the check-ins, the longitude and latitude with use of the GPS of your mobile device, for example, the choices of status and services, and also who is the person that checked in. So in this case, mainly by myself. But you can see, and if also if needed, the user can also take a picture with the Canvas app and attach it as an attachment, the photo that they have used. So to connect this, you open Power BI Desktop and you use get data to connect it with a SharePoint list. You just put in the whole list of the whole location, the URL location of the list, and then get connected. If you want to use if you use a person column, you can transform the data, because in the backend, a person is just an ID number in the Office 365 tenant. So if you want to change your person column into a readable name, maybe a display name, for example, in Power BI, you can see the columns are just numbers. So you can scroll on the right when you transform the data, select the field values as text, and then choose the person column, and then you also change this into a display name. So in your Power BI dashboard creations, you can see the person's display name instead of an ID. So that's a tip that I want to mention here. In Power BI Desktop, you can just create your, with visualizations, you can create your dashboard. You can see a list of items and different status, or filtered by a country or service agreement, etc. And when this is done, you can save this into your workspace. And within your workspace, you can also set a schedule refresh, because with a free license, you're limited to 8 refreshes within 24 hours. So this is something you have to notice. If you want more, then you have a paid license of Power BI. And then with this, you can schedule, for example, every 4 hours, or every refresh within the working hours, refresh my data every hour. So you can keep in mind the 8 refreshes per day. So within Power BI Desktop, there is a Power BI Power Apps for Power BI. And when you select this, you can also see here's a small little wizard. When you select this, you can create a new Canvas app in Power App, or you can use an existing one. With that, you can also when you select this, on the right hand side, you see the fields that is available within the source. You can tick the fields that you want to use in your Power App Canvas app. And then you can choose an existing Canvas app, or create a new one. When you click on create a new one, you will be pushed into the Power Apps. There's some question? Is there any questions? No? Okay. Over here, you can click on the fields that you want to use in the Power App Canvas app, and then you can click on create. When you click on create, you will be pushed into the Power Apps Canvas app. And over here, you can see there's a Power BI integration automatically pushed into the Canvas app. And also the data fields that you have selected over here is available within the Canvas app. And then with the Power BI integrations over here, you can start create your Canvas app. In this case, I create a start screen with a header, data source connected to my Sharepoint list also, and then I create some buttons to filter the status. So if I click on started, the list will be filtered with started items. If I click on completed, it will show a list of completed items. So in my demo, I will show you how this looks like. And when the Power App is ready, Canvas app, you can also think about Power Automate, how you can use Power Automate to use and check in. For example, if a user don't have directly contact or cannot use the Canvas app, they also can use the Power App, Power Automation app in their mobile. On their mobile, it's just a button in Power Automation. When I click on the button, it just asks which kind of services and some work descriptions, and if needed, a remark, and they can just click and send. And in this flow, it's just collect all the information, write it into an Excel database, but also in the condition, it will update the SharePoint list. So all items will be connected to each other. So my source, in this case, my SharePoint list, will be updated. Finally, it will also send a mobile push notification to let the user know that the check-in at that point was successfully created. And then also over here, just show a screen. This is the Power App, the Power Automate app. And on the buttons field, you can see here's a demo check-in location. That's the button that I've mentioned. And when I click on this, you see here are the selected choice fields, the work descriptions and remark, and with a finished button, the check-in with the longitude, latitude fields, all the timestamp that you are check-in. The information will be updated into both Excel for as a backup and into a SharePoint list, our main resources. That's the point of Power Automate. And beside that, in the Power App Canvas app, you can also create an extra button. And with the button, you can push and manually refresh of the data source. If you think data isn't updated within, for example, the hours that you have pre-selected, you can also do a manually refresh on the button. Click on the Power BI integration, the Power BI trigger, select refresh a data set, and over here, select the workspace and the data set that you have used in your Power BI. Finally, the Teams setup. In Teams, when the Power App Canvas app is ready, you can click on the three buttons and add to Teams. And over there, you can see an extra pop-up window. And here you can click download the app. The Canvas app will be zipped, and within the Microsoft Teams, on the left corner, you can click on apps. And here you can select upload my app. So your Canvas app will be uploaded to the Teams admin center, and the Teams admin can approve your Power app in this case. And when they approved, it will be available within the apps. And over here you can see the check-in Canvas app is available for the whole organization. This is one thing, but it's also important that in the Teams admin center, in the setup policies, that upload custom apps is available. It's enabled. So if it isn't enabled, so you have to contact the admin the administrator to enable this, or they have to upload this by themselves. Another way to make it available for everyone is to use the Teams Admin Center, and within the setup policies, you can also upload the app and then add it as an extra button on the left-hand side in Teams. So I will show it how you can do it in a while in my demo. But if you use this into the policy, you can add an app. In this case, you search for the check-in Canvas app, and you click on the add button, and then it will push for everyone. So all the clients, Teams client applications, or on the browser variant, you can see on the left-hand side there's an app available. So that's another way to publish your Canvas app in Teams. And also, when it's available in the whole organization, a user or an owner of the Teams can also edit as a tab. So for example, here in the Teams General tab, you can click Add an app, the tab button to add the tab. And over here, you can see the check-in Canvas app is available. So you can also click on the Canvas app or the Power BI and then select the workspace and the dashboard. So the Power BI and also the check-in app will be available as a tab into your Teams. So that's a high level overall about this business case scenario. Are there any questions? If not, then I can show you a demo. How it looks like. Yeah, okay. Over here, you can see this is SharePoint. And in SharePoint, I have a check-in, check-out location. And in this check-in, check-out locations, you see it's just a list with different items and with a description, a person who checked in, and also the service type, the status, and if they check in, they can also take the GPS locations of the longitude and latitude. So I have put different columns in my SharePoint list. This is also used as the main resource. In the Power BI desktop, my Power BI desktop isn't available right now. I'm sorry for that, but I just can only show my workspace over here. It's published. So in my workspace in my Office 365 account, I can open my dashboard, and over here you can see this is just the list created in Power BI. You can see the status, the maintenance, what type of services we have over here, and the overall list of the SharePoint items. So this is the dashboard, and with the second page, you can see here. You can see the Canvas app. This is now connected with the Power App Canvas app. But for this, I can better show this into my Power App demo. Here in the Power App Studio, you can see this is the Canvas app that I've created. The resources from the SharePoint list, and this is the all items. Here I just have filtered by started, by on hold items, and for example, work in process items. I can click on the items itself and view the details, or I can edit and put some remarks into this. Remarks have to check after 1 month. You can also update the status and then just save. It will also update the SharePoint list right on the way. in this Canvas app, I also integrated the Power BI. So if I click on View Report, you can see it's now connected with my Power BI dashboard. So also over here, you can see the dashboard that I've created in my Power BI is also showed in my in the Canvas app. Also, I have created a view map where I can use something like a Google Maps, where I put in the points of the latitudes and the longitudes in the app. So you can see where are the check-in points. So if I am the manager, I can see where are the check-in points. I can zoom in, click on the items and see, oh, in here is in Schweinfurt, we have a showcase lastly. Or the main focus, we can see, oh, in the Netherlands, we have more than more than 20 or 90 items or check-in points. So I know in Amsterdam, we have daily maintenance machines or other items. Also, if users have can use their Power App, they can also add a check-in point. They can add an address and add a check-in point right over here. Or with a plus, they can also add a new item into the Sharepoint list, but also update their check-in point in the map itself. So I've connected with different way to add check-in points over here. This is the, let me see if I can show, yeah, this is the Canvas app. And also here in the Canvas app, here's a Power BI integration. And so you can see here's the Power BI dashboard connected. And within the fields, here is the SharePoint list connected and filtered by the status, on hold, or work in process. When you want to use this into your teams, for example, you can click on the three buttons and then add to teams. And then here you can download, add to team, or download the app itself. I already have done it. So in the Teams admin here, you can use manage an app. If a user uploads an app, you can see over here pending approval that there's a custom app submitted, and then you can click on it, you can review it, and you can publish or you can reject the app of the user. But from an administer view, you can also upload here one by yourself. And it's important on the organization app that third party is enabled. Also on the setup policies, you can click on the global policy, and over here you can add an app. In this case, I use check-in. It's already available, but you can click, for example, this one, click on add, and then it will add to the left-hand side. So I can discard this one. Here is my check-in app. And when I save this, it will be available into my Teams. For example, here, I've refreshed my Teams browser. And on the left-hand side, you can see here is the check-in Canvas app. When I click on this, my Canvas app will be loaded into the Teams as an app itself. So the whole app is available over here. You can see the Canvas app with the check-in points, the dashboard, and they can filter. So the whole Power App is available. A user itself can also use this into their teams. So if I open my Teams, I have created a new team called Demo Global Power Platform. If I click on Add and Tab, I can add a Power BI dashboard. So I click on this, and then in my workspace, I can see my demo check-in report. I can save this, and so in the tab, the dashboard will be logged in as an extra tab. Another way is also use this add an tab and check in the Canvas app. When I add this, the Canvas app will be available within the team as a new tab. So instead of on the left-hand side in the menu, you can use it in the app itself. So here you can see the demo in Power BI, and the Canvas app is integrated into the Teams itself. So a user can also click on the check-in point, and then here they can see the overall items. So this is, and the last one is the Power Automate flow. This is, for example, a check-in with use of Power Automate. So if I run this test, for example, manually, within the app, it will notice the timestamp, but because this is a test run, I can fill in a time. What kind of services? This is a maintenance, twice per week, for example. Nothing special. And if I run the flow, it just updates an extra item into a table, just as a backup. It gets my profile, know who I am, and here in the conditions, it will create a new item without remark, because I didn't update this, but here it will update my SharePoint list extra item. And if I go back to my SharePoint list, refresh this, here twice per week is also updated. And if I open my Canvas app, I refresh this one, the extra item twice per week is also loaded over here. And after a while, a refresh of my data source in Power BI is also refreshed. So in the view reports, I can see my twice, and the new items twice per week will also be available over here. Because I am limited to the refreshes per day, so it will not refresh automatically. I can update this with a scheduled refresh, or with an extra button, refresh the data source. But that's just choice what you want to do. So this is the overall Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Canvas integration that I want to show you in this demo. So I'm not sure if there are any questions